Proudly brought to you by Broadlink for reliable business connectivity.
Lucky me, I get to ride the all-new Triumph 1200 Explorer before almost anyone else in South Africa. This is a bike that has been eagerly anticipated by all those in the know, and I must say, first impressions are really good. I'm going to do a bit of adventure stuff, so join me for some fun. It's no wonder Triumph have made a big effort in building an all-new bike for the big bore adventure class. BMW have sold more than 250,000 units of the GS since its launch in 2004. A huge figure for a flagship model. The Explorer is a distinctive and classy looking bike, despite the typical adventure class beak, which apparently improves stability below its twin headlights. Its bodywork is attractively angular, its black finished engine notably well finished, and free of external wires and hoses. The comprehensive instrument panel, which along with digital speedo and analog tacho, includes information on fuel consumption and much more. Toggled via a button on the left handlebar. You can choose between 2 levels of traction control or turn it off altogether. There's a standard cruise control button on the right handlebar. Certainly a must for those long open road trips. So, the riding position is typically adventure bike, and I reckon I could certainly empty a few tankfuls of fuel in one day. Surprisingly, the Triumph is not only about straight line cruising, but is actually quite agile in twisties as well. Not bad for a big tall machine that weighs in at 235 kilos. Triumph tradition dictates their contender was always going to have 3 cylinders, and the development team settled on a 1215cc transverse unit that shares its double overhead cam, 12-valve layout with the speed triple. But this engine is designed for touring, with shaft final drive and an emphasis on a broad spread of torque. It still produces a maximum of 130 horsepower at 9,000 RPM. And that is the highest output in this class. The bike the Explorer is shooting at is the BMW GS, as Triumph's engineers have been confident enough to admit. The big box's influence is clear in the Explorer's design. Not so much in its engine or chassis layout, because the 3-pot motor is held in a twin-tube steel frame that has a hint of speed triple about it. Anyway, you wouldn't be trying any of this on a speed triple, now would you? Big bike adventure riding does take a certain level of skill and practice. However, the Triumph stands itself well in lapping up anything the terrain has to offer. The great thing about adventure riding is that you could get to places that you couldn't get to with the 4x4, for instance. But on the Triumph, you can do so with a certain level of comfort and joy. The Explorer is certainly an imposing machine, and well priced at 144,500 Rand. Another test done, another bike from Triumph, but another adventure bike to the market for you out there. And I think this one's going to really sit well. You have to ride this bike to see what it's really like. For me, it's one of the best adventure bikes out there. It feels light, it's really narrow. It's really amazing, actually. And the label on the tank says Explorer. All you really need is your GPS.